Good Sunday morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pitt Game Day. So I'm Mason Stepeski, your host here today. As you can tell by now, we have the party hat on. We got the music blaring. It's a party today in Pittsburgh. If you didn't already know, our Pitt Panthers football team defeated the Louisville Cardinals last night. The 14th ranked Louisville Cardinals, 38-21 at Acrisure Stadium last night. What a great day to be alive if you're a Panthers fan. This was obviously a great night, for sure. Let's first get into the game, the way it went. Early on, I didn't think this game was going to go our way. I thought it would be really bad for our Pitt Panthers. Here, let me move the party hat here. So, just a friendly reminder, it's a celebration day. So, just a friendly So, it didn't look good early on for our new quarterback, Christian Valou. He did not have a good first drive. He did not have a good couple first series. Then he picked it up further in the half. We hung in there with them, which was key. And then Louisville took an early lead, 7-0. We hung in there. We scored right back on a trick play touchdown to Bob Means, make it 7-7. Then Louisville struck again, 14-7. And then just like that, it was 7. And just like that, we scored again to make it 14-14. Then, right before the half, Louisville scored, making it 21-14 at the half. At that point, I did not feel real confident in our Panthers because I felt like this would be just like the North Carolina game. We would have a lead, and we would choke it. That was not the case. Louisville failed to score on the opening drive of the second half. We got the ball back. We kicked a field goal, made it 21-17. Then we got the ball back again after Louisville did something, or one free and out, I think. And then Sebo Fleminster got a touchdown right in front of us at the game to give the Panthers a 24-21 lead. Then Jake Plumer, I don't know his name, I'm sorry, got intercepted for a pick six by MJ Devonshire. His mom was recognized on the scoreboard for being the College Football Hall of Fame Mom of the Game for the Pitt Panthers. And then her son got a pick six to give the Panthers a 31-21 lead. Then Christian Valou had a trick play on fourth down. They went for it. We scored a touchdown. We made it 38-21. It was an awesome night. It was an awesome night to be a Panthers fan. Congratulations to Christian Valou. He truly did good. But let me just first get into some of my takes for the game. I don't have any negative takes, really. I don't have any negative takes. The only thing you could have that could be considered a negative take of mine would be the fact that Valou didn't look good early. But that's typical. He's new, and he's only a sophomore. He's not used to starting games. Even though practice did help, he's not used to starting games. And yeah, just that. Anyway, though, things I were impressed with, Christian Valou in the second half. The offense in the second half was phenomenal. But I think, personally, I'm going to throw a hot take out there. I know all the Pitt fans right now are loving Christian Valou and all that, and I'll get to him in a couple minutes because he's great, and I can't wait to see what's to come with him. But my star of the game, what I think was the reason the Panthers won this game, was the defense. The defense looked phenomenal last night. I think they had a good night, and this team played motivated. Pat Narduzzi had this team ready for Louisville. This team was ready, and we were motivated, and that's what propelled our Pitt Panthers to this victory that happened last night at Acrisure Stadium. Devonshire looked good. Everybody looked good. It was a strong defensive performance. After every first down, we weren't getting hurt. The coverage, Devonshire on Frass. Damari Frass was one of the best receivers in college football, in my opinion, and we played him very well. So, yeah, I think we did great there. That was awesome to watch, that's for sure. So great times for Pitt. Valou, I am very optimistic for him. I think he's going to be a great quarterback for Pitt. And this might jerk a little people some, but he reminds me of Kenny Pickett a little bit. Because if you remember, Kenny Pickett on Black Friday 2017, Pitt was 4-7. They hosted Miami at then Heinz Field, who was 11-0, fighting for a college football playoff spot. Kenny Pickett, upset Miami, and it ruined their whole season. And it gave the Panthers hope for the future, and that hope ended with the 2021 ACC championship, led by none other than Kenny Pickett. Christian Veilleux is the same exact way. Veilleux came in last night leading a 1-4 Panthers team to an upset victory over a ranked Louisville team that's coming off a high point in beating Notre Dame. This program is now in the right hands. We have our quarterback. Sorry that this is divided into two parts, but I got split up earlier. I was busy and just got back to things now. So here we are back in the swing of things. Anyway, the party continues. Pitt Football beat Louisville last night, 38-21. It was a big win for the Panthers. Now back to where I left off. It was an okay night, yeah, obviously, for Christian Veilleux. He did show his positives. I mean, I love the trick play to memes, and I love the fourth down conversion at the end by him. He held the line, and he proved last night one thing, and this one play, it's going to shock you, but it proved to me that he is a good quarterback for the future. And I'm going to explain why. Second down, center snaps the ball over Veilleux's head. Veilleux gets on it for a loss. It's what happens next that changes things. Instead of picking up the ball and scrambling and trying to be an acrobat and make a dynamic play, Veilleux tucked it in like a stuffed animal or like a baby, and he held on to it and took the loss. He didn't try to extend the play. He just took the loss. That's what I liked about Veilleux. He has a great football IQ, and that shows that he's a good quarterback. The best quarterbacks, if you look at the NFL, you see say for instance 2021 Bengals. Year they lost to the Rams in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's line was awful that year. Now you can ask, how can because everybody said this about Phil. People said Phil was not the problem for Pitt. It was the line, and, you remember the Narduzzi comment, if Dan Marino wouldn't even do good with that line, it's the line's fault, blah, 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 blah. Yes, it is the line's fault in the way, but the quarterback also means something. The Bengals in 2021 had one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. They made the Super Bowl, and their quarterback did terrific. You know why? Their quarterback, Joe Burrow, has a high football IQ. And that's what I think our quarterback, Christian Veilleux, has. A high football IQ. And that's what makes great quarterbacks. Their football IQ. His is high, and that's what I like. He doesn't do anything dumb. I can't say he doesn't do anything dumb, because we all do dumb things in our lives, but he's not perfect. But he certainly plays his role, and he does a good job at it. And last night, that play and a lot of other plays showed me that he has a high football IQ. And that's what partly makes a good quarterback. I think Pitt's found their quarterback for the future. I think we need to see more, though, to confirm it. I think we need to see what he has in him. Not this next week, but these next two games, the game at Notre Dame and then the home game with Florida State, to see what we have. But I think we would have won at least two more games, and our record would have been flipped if he were the starter. I think we would have beat WVU. I think we would have beat Cincy. Maybe not Virginia Tech. Probably not North Carolina. So, yeah. We'll see what Veilleux has made in him the rest of the year. This defense is terrific. I love this defense's effort. And trust me, look, on our car ride home from the game last night, I was reading an article. It's kind of funny because I have an Iowa shirt on that I'm talking about this topic, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on this because this is a topic that I definitely am interested in. for sure, but the search is kind of funny when you see what the topic is. I was reading an article because the Oregon and Washington game was yesterday in Seattle. As you guys all know, those schools are joining the Big Ten next year. So it was an article. I don't know who it was from, but it was about inside the plan how Oregon and Washington joined the Big Ten. And it unveiled schools the Big Ten was considering for expansion. Obviously, Oregon and Washington, but there was also like Arizona on there. And then you had your three big ACC targets. There were 4 ACC teams, I think. Or there might have been more than 4. I will pull up my computer and read the whole list once it comes up. But I recognized a couple in specific, mostly because they're the ones trying to leave the ACC because of this whole grants of rights thing. There was Clemson. There was Florida State. There was North Carolina. I'm 100% certain on those schools. Hang on, let me try to find this article because it's a big talking point. But anyway, guess who was one of the other ACC schools they were considering? Pitt. That's right. The Big Ten considered Pitt expansion. Here's what that tells me. Obviously, this is an elite college football conference. You've got Ohio State. You've got Penn State. You've got Michigan. You've got Iowa. You also got the team they beat, Wisconsin. Michigan State has potential, or they've shown potential in the past. Minnesota. Every so often you get a good Northwestern, Purdue, or Illinois team. Maryland's not bad. Even Rutgers isn't bad. These Big Ten schools, they're not bad. And this is a conference that we were competing against schools like USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington. And even, here's the other ones. Notre Dame, North Carolina, Clemson, Florida State, Pitt, Kansas, Cal, Stanford, Arizona, Virginia, and of course, Oregon or Washington. There is no Miami of Florida. Where are they? Where's Louisville? Where's Georgia Tech? Where's Virginia Tech? Virginia, they're probably only being considered because of their basketball. And that would make good basketball. Where's Duke at? I didn't see Duke. They're a good football team. Point being is, the Big Ten likes Pitt. Not only because of their academics. I mean, Pitt's academics are top of the knots. And they're great. And I am proud to be a student and hopefully one day future alumni of the University of Pittsburgh. However, they also like Pitt because of what Heverlake has done. And not only has he changed the culture of all the programs for the better, he's changed the culture of this football program for the better. Pitt is not a slouch in football. They just had a quarterback who was failing, or unfortunately was not doing very good. And that's what held them back. That's why they had the record they had. Pitt is not a bad football team. Pitt won an ACC championship in 2021. Pitt won the Sun Bowl in 2022. This Pitt Panthers team has potential. Narduzzi is known for doing big things after the bye. So point being is this. Don't give up on this University of Pittsburgh football team. It's got a bright future. Christian Falou is going to lead it. He might not have everybody. He might lose Mumfield, Bartholomew, Devonshire. Oh, Devonshire's defense, but Bartholomew, Mumfield to the NFL. But when I was reading about Panthers in the draft on the Pitt News, the offer wrote that it would be most likely and more conservative or more intelligent that most of them stay. And that would be awesome if most of them do stay. Because now they're building the chemistry for next year. And I wouldn't be worried. Obviously, I think about some because I'm a fan and I really want to go. But I wouldn't be worried about a bowl game this year. I really wouldn't be. What I would be worried about, because we dug ourselves too much in a hole. We're already behind the 8 ball. Who cares that we beat Louisville? I obviously care because I'm a fan and I love this kind of games. But yeah, bowl games should be disregarded. What's more important is that this team develops and builds chemistry, especially on the offense. And all these guys come back next year, or the majority of them, unless their eligibility expires. That way we'll have a good start. And the front half of next year isn't terrible. Kent State, at Cincinnati, which I think is a loss. West Virginia at home. Youngstown State at home. I can easily see a 3-1 start. This team has it better, I think, in the coming years. Pitt always responds well. This so reminded me of the Miami game in 2017. I really do like the future of this program, and I'm proud to be a Pitt Panther. I know I've criticized the team a lot on this but after last night, I really give Narduzzi a ton of credit and a ton of respect. That was awesome. He had those guys already, and that's what makes a good coach. And I know I've hated on Narduzzi before. I've hated on Signetti before. I've hated on Jerkovic before. I've hated on even Valu before in that North Carolina game. But here's the thing. I'm going to hate on them again probably in my life because I can't stand losing. But just know for now and in the future that I'm sorry for hating on them because what they did last night showed what they could do. And what they can do in the future is great. So here's what I say to all Pitt fans. Keep the pedal on the metal. We're going to win some more games this year. We're going to walk out this year probably 4 or 5, maybe even 6 wins in a bowl game. You never know. But at this point, you got to see what's next. I can't wait for the Notre Dame game. I can't wait for the Florida State game. Can't wait for the Duke game. Because it's going to show what Christian Valu can do against more ranked opponents that are ranked higher than Louisville. If he could do these kind of things, the Pitt Panthers can be right up there with those teams. If Valu develops well, and this offense develops well over the course of the year, regardless if there's a bowl game or not, keep your fingers crossed. Pat Narduzzi is not the head coach of Michigan State next year. Because that's the only thing that could disrupt this upward future if they continue to play well. It would be a hard thing for Pitt fans to go, say, 4-8, 5-7 this year, have so much optimism for next year, and then Narduzzi get that job, accept it, and take Christian Valu with him and do great things there. So I really hope we cheer for our team. We support the people we have now. We all criticize each other. But I think now is the time for us to come together, realize what this Pitt Panthers team can do, and support them with all we have. The next game will be Saturday, October the 21st. The Pitt Panthers travel to Wake Forest, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, take on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Kickoff is at 3:30 p.m. on the ACC network. Surprisingly, despite Pitt's record, they have not played a single 12 o'clock game this year. That streak will continue at least the next 2 games. Wake Forest then at Notre Dame. Those are both 3:30 kickoffs. Who knows if they will play a 12 o'clock game this year? I hope they don't because I like these games the way they are. It'll be interesting to see, that's for sure. So keep an eye on that. Wake Forest lost yesterday 30-13 to Virginia Tech. At Virginia Tech, kind of the same way we lost to them. This would be an even game. It's on their home field, but I think if we play the way we did yesterday, we could definitely win this game. This is huge if we win this game, maybe we can think a tiny bit about bowl eligibility, but I wouldn't put it too much there yet. Let's just enjoy this one. Let's hope they have a good week of practice, and we'll see you back here next Saturday morning for the Pitt Game Day pregame show against the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Enjoy the rest of this evening. Sorry this show's up so late. Have a good one. Take care. Stay safe. Peace. See you next week, Panther fans, and party it up.